throughout the world. Order, goal, and design are apparent. Now pay attention as we study some examples of this. We will present some large and small examples for you. Fortunately, today, with the progress made in natural sciences, the discovery of the secrets and wonders of the world of nature, and the subtleties in the existence of human beings, animals, and plants, the wonderful structure of a cell, or an atom, and the wonderful system of the stars, the doors of knowing God, have been opened to us in such a way that one can clearly say that all books of natural science are books about the oneness and unity of God, which teach us great lessons about the great Creator, because these books remove the veils or curtains, which cover the interesting order of the creatures of this world and show how important the Creator of this world is, the center of administration of the country of your body. Our skull has been filled with gray matter called the brain. This brain forms the most accurate and exact system of our body, because it commands all of the powers of our body, and it manages all of the organs of our system. In order to understand the importance of this great center, it would be a good idea for us to explain the following for you. The newspapers had printed that a Shiraz University student in Kazakhstan was in an automobile accident, and his brain was damaged, but it seemed that nothing at all had happened to him. All of his organs were healthy, but strangely enough, he had forgotten all of his past life. His mind worked well. He could study, but if he saw his mother and father, he did not recognize them. When they said to him that this was his mother, he was surprised. They took him to his home in Shiraz. They showed him the handicraft work he had done, and then hung on the walls of his room. But he looked at it all in amazement, and said that he was seeing these things for the first time. It became clear that in the brain damage he suffered, cells, which work in reality, transitions between thought and his memory were no longer working, and like a blown-out fuse, which cuts off the electricity and brings darkness, his memory of the past had been disconnected. Perhaps the point which no longer works is no bigger than the size of the top of a pin, but what an effect it has had upon his life, and from this, it becomes clear how complicated and how important our brain is. Our brain consists of two separate parts. First, the part which is controlled by our voluntary, which controls all of our voluntary motions like walking, looking, speaking. Second, the involuntary part, which controls the movement of our heart, stomach, etc. And if one part of this part of the brain does not function, the heart, or another organ will no longer function. One of the most wonderful parts of the brain, the cerebrum, is the center of willpower, consciousness, and memory. In other words, it is one of the most sensitive areas of the brain, and many of the reactions of the inner senses like anger, fear, etc. relate to it. If we take out the cerebrum in an animal, but will leave the other organs as they are, it will remain alive, but its understanding and consciousness will be totally eliminated. They have removed the brain of a pigeon. It remained alive for a while, but it could not eat seeds that were placed in front of it. Even though it was hungry, it would not eat. If it was allowed to fly, it flew until it hit a barrier and fell down. Another wonderful part of the brain is the sense of memory. Have you ever thought how wonderful our sense of memory is? If our sense of memory is taken from us for even 1 hour, what a difficult situation we will be placed in. The center of memory, which forms a small part of our brain, is where all of our memories of our lifetime are stored. Whoever is related to us, the particularities of that person as to size, form, color, clothes, and spirit, are kept in storage in their own area, and a special file is formed for each one. Thus, the moment we confront that person, our mind removes him from the file, and immediately, completely reviews what we know about him, and then it commands us as to what reaction we should have, if it is a friend, respect, and if it is an enemy, the showing of hatred. But all of this is done so quickly that there is more or less no lapse of time. The wonder of this becomes more apparent when we try to recall what is stored, and draw it, or write it down, or record it in a tape recorder. Without any doubt, it will require a great deal of paper, or a great number of tapes, which can fill a large storage room. Even more wonderful than this is when we want to find one drawing, or one tape. Among them, a file clerk will be necessary, but our sense of memory does all of this work very simply, easily, and quickly. How can an unconscious nature create a conscious one? Many books have been written about the wonders of the human brain. Can you believe that such an extraordinary system, which is so subtle, accurate, complicated, and mysterious, be made from unconscious nature? More wonderful than this is to believe that an unintelligent nature could create intelligence. The Holy Quran says, "On the earth are signs for those of assured faith, as also in your own selves will you not then